Well, hey everybody, if you're fortunate enough or you've been on the fence about the Sony ZV-1, it's really a nice point and shoot camera. I'm not doing a review on this. What I want to talk about is stabilization. Now, the Sony has a little bit of a problem with stabilization, even though it does have standard and active, which is this highest level stabilization. But I want to talk about a possible alternative, the iSteady Multi, and that's coming right up. So like I said, so you've got the Sony ZV-1 and you want to be able to try to vlog with it, get some really nice stable footage, because the built-in stabilization, even though it is okay and it does help out, it does crop in the image, and I'll show you some examples here in just a moment. But you want to be able to try to get the widest field of view. So that's going to be with image stabilization completely off on the camera. But if you use a gimbal, and the nice thing about this iSteady Multi is that you can use it with your phone, you can use it with a action camera like a GoPro, or you can use it with point and shoot cameras. Canon. I'm using the Sony ZV-1 just for comparison's sake. And by the way, like I said, this is not a review on the Sony ZV-1. That will be coming up. But let's talk about the iSteady Multi, and let's see what comes inside the box. Now you get the Hohem ISteady Multi gimbal, you get that. You get a tripod, a quick release plate, smartphone holder, a Sony multi camera cable that I did not try out. Maybe I'll try it out a little bit later on. Micro USB charging cable, carrying case. That is a nice hardshell case. 2 thumb screws, and of course a user guide. So you can use it as a power bank to power your other devices like your cell phone, a GoPro or other action camera. Now right now I'm going to put up a list of all the different cameras that this gimbal supports, from Sony to the Canon to Panasonic, and I'll let you just kind of take a look at that. And if you take a look right here, now this gives you a little layout of the handle of the multi gimbal. You've got a 1/4 20 screw on one side, you've got a 1/4 20 screw on the bottom for the tripod. Of course, you've got the joystick, which will allow you to tilt and pan left and right. It's got your mode button, and you've got 3 different choices for, or excuse me, you got 4 different choices for modes. You've got to zoom in and zoom out when you use the attached camera cable. Your on and off button, obviously. And when you tap it one time, it'll actually light up the 4 lights on the side to let you know 4 lights is fully charged, 3 lights is 3/4, 2 lights 50%, and 1 light is obviously 25% charged. And it's got a nice ergonomic handle. It has a very good feel in the hand. So when you've got the gimbal in your hand, you'll notice that there's a little side port. And this side port is for 2 purposes: to charge the gimbal, which takes about 3.5 hours, or to charge your camera. So you can charge your Sony, your Canon, your GoPro, the list goes on, and kind of use this as a power bank. Now, this here is 3,500 milliamp per hour battery that's inside of here. It will last 8 hours, which is very nice. But I've been getting about 6.5 hours of use out of it. It has a 600-degree pan access on it, so you can do the inception mode, and I'll give you a little example of that too. And balancing this is very, very easy. Got a nice little 1/4 20 right here on the side. Of course, one on the bottom for the tripod itself. But, video, or should I say, actions speak louder than words. So let's see how well that it performed. But first, I'm going to show you the Sony ZV-1 with just hand holding it inside of a Manfrotto mini tripod. By the way, people ask me about the Manfrotto. I'll put a link in the description below too, so you can check out that little tripod. But I'm going to show you with no stabilization what it looks like, with stabilization just on standard, and then active, its most aggressive stabilization, and how much it crops in. And then we'll try this iSteady Multi just to see how much it can stabilize footage. Okay, this is using the Sony ZV-1, and image stabilization is completely turned off, and I've got it on a little Manfrotto mini tripod. What you'll notice is you get a wider field of view, but at the cost of shaky footage. Now we've got the image stabilization turned on to standard. And gosh, it is hot today in Texas. We'll check the temperature here in a little bit. Now it crops in just a little bit more using it on standard, but it does help out smoothing out some of those little rough bumps. But let's go to active and see how much it helps out. Okay, so now I've got active stabilization on, and you can see it's cropped in even a little bit more, still using the little mini tripod or Manfrotto mini tripod, and just hand holding this walking. Does it give that little wobbly effect on the outside edges? Well, let's try this Hohem ISteady Multi to see if that's a good fit with this Sony ZV-1. So now this is using the Sony ZV-1, or for those up north, the ZV-1, and just with the image stabilization completely off on the camera and using the Hohem Multi, or should I say the Hohem ISteady Multi. So it is very hot outside. That's why I'm not going to do a whole lot of outside recording. It feels like 114 right now in Texas, but this gives you a little rough idea of gaining a little bit of field of view when you use the gimbal, and you still get some nice stabilization. So all in all, what do I think about the Hohem ISteady Multi gimbal? You know, I like it. Now, a lot of people are going to go, well, it's $139. Yes, that is expensive, but then again, you got to consider it gets rid of 3 gimbals for you. So you don't have to get an action camera gimbal, you don't have to get a phone gimbal separately, and you don't have to have a point and shoot camera gimbal. This fits all of them all combined, and its weight capacity is 400 grams. So when you get something like the Sony ZV-1 or some of the Canon point and shoot cameras, this fits into that niche very well. What I'll do is I'll put a product link to all these items in the description below and check it out for yourself. And by the way, there will be a review video of the Sony ZV-1 coming up. And for those that are wondering, I'm shooting on a Canon M50. It's really one of my little favorite cameras because it has so much power and so much capability, even though it does have a couple of little drawbacks on it. So I hope you guys are having yourself a great day, and until the next video, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Oh, damn. Back hurts. Got to get my wife to adjust me. Nice thing about being married to a chiropractor, she can adjust you, and I adjust her. Java, it makes the world go round. Or at least this guy, 13, 14 cups a day. Damn, I need to cut back.